Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. So untuk kelas yang seterusnya kita akan bincangkan mengenai subtopik 2.1.6 iaitu berkaitan dengan membuat acuan model 3 dimensi. So yang sebelumnya, kelas sebelumnya kita dah bincangkan mengenai bagaimana kita buat lakaran model 3D bermaklumat dan juga proses kita buat analisis bagi lakaran model 3D. Jadi jika tiada sebarang masalah ataupun penambahbaikan bagi lakaran akhir, jadi ini adalah proses yang seterusnya, iaitu kita buat acuan. Dan membuat acuan model 3 dimensi ada 5 kaedah pembuatan jikalau awak rujuk pada buku teks muka surat 31. So antara kaedah pembuatannya, kalau awak nampak dekat situ, kaedah yang pertama adalah kaedah pembuatan tuangan ataupun kita panggil sebagai casting. Kaedah tuangan ni adalah proses membentuk sesuatu produk atau sebahagian melalui proses peleburan dan menuangkannya di dalam acuan yang telah disediakan. Jadi kalau kita nampak dekat situ, kita bahan ni dileburkan dan dia masukkan ke dalam acuan, dan bila leburan bahan yang lebur tu sejuk, dia akan mengeras. Itu kaedah tuangan. Dan seterusnya, kaedah pembuatan yang ini kita panggil sebagai acuan ataupun molding, iaitu rongga yang terdapat pada acuan menyerupai bentuk produk yang sebenar. So bentuk yang dalam acuan ni, itu adalah bentuk produk sebenarnya lah yang kita nak. So bahan dimasukkan ke dalam acuan sama ada melalui tuangan ataupun injection molding dan dibiarkan mengeras. So kita pergi kepada kaedah yang seterusnya, iaitu pembentukan ataupun forming. So forming adalah kaedah ataupun proses mengubah bentuk sesuatu bahan menjadi bentuk lain yang boleh digunakan untuk membina satu produk. So selepas ni saya akan tunjukkan awak dia punya video animasi bagaimana proses ataupun kaedah pembentukan acuan, tuangan dan sebagainya sebentar lagi, supaya awak lebih faham dan lebih nampak. Kaedah yang seterusnya adalah kaedah pemesinan ataupun machining. Kaedah ni lebih kepada proses membuang. Kalau awak lihat kepada 3 kaedah yang sebelumnya, dia lebih kepada membentuk. So kalau kaedah pembuatan pemesinan, dia lebih kepada proses membuang. So membuang sesuatu bahagian daripada bahagian supaya menjadi bentuk yang dikehendaki. Itu pemesinan. Dan yang seterusnya, yang terakhir adalah sambungan ataupun kita panggil dia sebagai joining. Bahagian atau komponen yang dihasilkan melalui proses sebelumnya disambungkan supaya menjadi satu produk baru yang boleh berfungsi. So kita tidak semestinya menggunakan satu sahaja kaedah pembuatan untuk satu produk. Untuk hasilkan satu produk, kita boleh guna lebih daripada satu kaedah pembuatan. Tak bermakna satu produk satu kaedah. Satu produk kita boleh guna lebih daripada satu kaedah pembuatan. Contohnya, kalau awak nak guna kaedah tuangan, awak boleh gabungkan dengan pemesinan. Pemesinan kita boleh gabungkan dengan sambungan. Boleh faham ya? InsyaAllah. Seterusnya kita lihat video ni, bagaimana dia menerangkan mengenai kaedah pembuatan produk.
Do you ever wonder how amorphous lumps of material are turned into everyday products which surround us? Let's find out. In this video, we're going to talk about manufacturing processes. There are 6 main categories of manufacturing processes, which are forming, casting, molding, joining, machining, and additive manufacturing. Each one of these categories contains a large number of different manufacturing techniques. There are a lot of different factors which need to be considered when selecting the right manufacturing process. This includes the material you are working with, the geometry of the object, the number of parts you are producing, tool and material costs, and required levels of automation, to name just a few.
Okey, kalau awak lihat pada slide yang ini, dia nyatakan ada 6 proses atau kaedah pembuatan, yang mana lagi satu tu kita panggil additive. So additive tak masuk dalam awak punya syllabus, so kita ambil sampai joining sahaja. Tapi saya rasa awak perlu tahulah juga kaedah tu, sebabnya awak guna kaedah tu untuk membuat projek awak. Ya, sebab kita main dengan pen 3D, sebab pen 3D fungsinya lebih kurang sama macam printer 3D. So printer 3D tu sebenarnya dia masukkan dalam kaedah pembuatan additive. So sekejap lagi awak boleh tengok ya macam mana. So yang ini adalah antara pilihan cara awak nak pilih kaedah pembuatan mana yang sesuai berdasarkan bahan, bentuk objek geometri tu, okey, dan dia punya bilangan parts, komponen yang awak nak buat, peralatan, daripada segi peralatan dan dia punya cost, dan juga kemahiran kita nak kendalikan mesin tersebut.
Through each of the 6 categories in detail. Forming involves applying forces or pressure and plastically deforming the material to produce the desired shape. It is typically used for metals. Most forming processes can be done when the metal is either above or below its recrystallization temperature. This is known as hot or cold working. Hot working makes it easier to plastically deform the metal, but cold working causes strain hardening, which increases the strength of the material. 3 common forming processes are forging, rolling, and extrusion. Modern forging is done using machines. In closed die, or impression forging, the metal is placed between top and bottom closed dies. Repeated strokes from the hammer are used to cause the metal to flow into the shape of the dies. Objects produced using forging can have improved mechanical properties compared to objects which are cast, but it can be difficult to achieve tight tolerances using forging, and the required equipment can be expensive. Extrusion is a continuous process which involves placing hot metal in a chamber and using a ram to force it through a die, producing a long object with a constant cross-section. Extrusion provides an excellent surface finish and can achieve very tight tolerances, but it is only suitable for producing 2-dimensional shapes. Rolling is probably the most commonly used forming process. It involves passing metal between 2 or more rollers, which apply pressure and reduce thickness. More complex products like I-beams can also be manufactured by rolling. Rolling can result in improved mechanical properties and can be automated, which makes it good for large-scale production, but tooling costs tend to be high, and it can't be used to produce very complex shapes. Let's move on to the next category of manufacturing processes, casting. Casting involves pouring molten metal into a mold and allowing it to solidify. It is what we call a primary shaping process. A secondary process, such as machining, is typically needed to achieve the desired surface finish.
Okay, itu yang saya katakan sebagai kaedah. Kita boleh guna kaedah lebih daripada
Three common types of
satu.
casting are
Okay.
die casting, sand casting, and investment casting. In die casting, molten metal is forced into reusable metal dies at high pressure. Once the molten metal has solidified, it is removed from the mold. Die casting is mostly used for non-ferrous metals like aluminum and zinc, which have low melting temperatures. It provides an excellent surface finish and can achieve very tight tolerances, but startup costs tend to be high, so it is only really suitable for large production runs. In sand casting, a pattern is used to create a single-use mold from damp sand. The sand is typically contained in two mold boxes, called the cope and the drag. Molten metal is poured into the mold through a channel formed in the sand. When the metal has solidified, the cast object can be removed from the sand. Sand casting can be used for a wide range of metals, including those with high melting temperatures. It can produce large and complex parts, and initial costs are very low, making it good for small production runs. However, it provides a poor surface finish and is not as accurate as other casting processes. The last casting process we will look at is investment casting. Several wax patterns of the same object are created and attached to a sprue. The wax tree is dipped into a slurry to create a ceramic mold.
Okay, wax ni dia bahan macam guna bahan bukan macam, memang lilin
Heat is applied to melt out the wax. Molten metal is then poured into the ceramic mold. And once the casting has cooled, the mold is broken off. Investment casting is good for parts with complex geometry and can achieve tight tolerances, but it is an expensive and time-consuming process. Molding is very similar to casting. It involves shaping a liquid or pliable material using a mold. Most of the time, molding is used for forming plastics. Typical molding processes are injection molding, compression molding, and blow molding. Let's look at the first two. Injection molding is the most commonly used manufacturing method for plastics. Polymer granules are fed into the hopper, and a screw is used to pass the material through a heated cylinder before it is forced at pressure into the mold. Injection molding is mostly used for thermoplastics, which are polymers which soften when they are heated and harden when they are cooled. It is a very fast process and can be fully automated, meaning labor costs are low, but startup costs are very high due to the expensive molds, so it is really only cost effective for large production runs. Compression molding involves placing a precise amount of material into a mold. The mold is closed and pressure and temperature are applied. Compression molding is mostly used for thermosets, which are polymers which irreversibly harden when heated. Tooling costs are relatively cheap, making it good for small production runs, but it is quite a slow process and is not well suited for complex designs. So far, we have only looked at material deformation processes. Machining is a material removal process, where a tool is used to remove material from a larger object. It is often used for secondary shaping, when the part has already been formed using a primary process like casting. Machining can be used for a wide range of materials, including metals, plastics, and wood. Examples of machining include drilling, turning, and reaming. Drilling is the cutting of a normal circular hole by pressing a rotating drill bit through a solid object. And turning is the use of a cutting tool to shape a rotating workpiece. Let's move on to the next category. Joining involves combining multiple separate components into a larger assembly. Like machining, joining is a secondary process. Welding, riveting, brazing, soldering, and fastening are all different types of joining processes. Welding uses extremely high heat to fuse distinct metal parts together. Unlike soldering and brazing, the base metal melts during welding. The final category is additive manufacturing, which involves adding material to build up the desired object, typically one layer at a time. 3D printing, selective laser sintering, and vat polymerization are examples of additive manufacturing techniques. For 3D printing, a computer is used to successfully build up an object layer by layer. 3D printing is a slow process, and the range of materials which can be used is limited. As a result, it tends to be used for prototyping rather than for mass production. That's it for this introduction to manufacturing processes.
Okey, itu adalah
Don't forget to subscribe if you
animasi untuk kaedah pembuatan produk supaya awak nampak lebih jelas lagi macam mana dia punya proses. So jangan lupa awak lengkapkan awak punya modul, dan sebenarnya bab ni banyak projek yang awak kena buat. Ya. So insya-Allah buka sekolah nanti kita akan cuba settlekan awak punya projek satu-satulah. Okey. So jangan lupa lengkapkan modul dan kita jumpa lagi. Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.